Welcome to today's Mangomint Feature Spotlight. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. My name is Abby. I'm on the Mangomint product marketing team. Well, welcome to today's Feature Spotlight. So today we're going to do a special edition of our Feature Spotlight where we're actually going to focus on new features released in Mangomint over the last few weeks. So as you guys may have seen already, July was jam-packed with a lot of really exciting product releases. And so I'm going to go through all of those with you guys today. So we're going to keep it pretty quick for you guys. I have a few updates to go through. We'll spend about 20 to 25 minutes together. And, of course, if you have any questions, feel free to throw those in the chat. And anything that we don't have time for, we'll definitely follow up with you after the webinar as well. So super excited to talk about our July updates with everyone. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start sharing my screen, and I'm going to give you an overview of the updates that we're going to cover today. Okay, so this is kind of just a quick overview of all the product updates we're going to cover in the webinar. So we've launched a lot of exciting updates over the past month or so, and I'm going to recap these with you today. So the first item we're going to go over is an update to two-way texting. So you can now actually add internal staff notes, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that, and we're going to talk more about how you can use those. We also released an update where you can choose the membership billing location. So I'll show you where to find that. And then we released a really great update to resource scheduling. So now you can actually add time blocks to your resources. And I'm going to show you guys how to set that up. Also, kind of continuing our theme with continuing to launch really exciting updates to service customizations, which is an item that we released back at the end of May. So we've actually launched another advanced update to service customizations that allows you to exclude staff members from a customization. So we're going to go through that today. We've also added another new permission, and this one actually allows staff members to view their own sales. So I'll talk to you guys about how that works. And also, we have another exciting update that Mangomint is now HIPAA compliant. So I'll spend just a couple minutes touching on that as well. All right, so with that, that's what we're going to go through today. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the Mangomint app, and we'll start going through some of these updates with you. Okay, so I'm sharing my app. I'll give that a second. And of course, as usual, let me know if anybody cannot see that. So right now we're in my demo account for Mangomint at the Seven Lakes Salon and Spa. We're looking at our calendar view, but now I'm going to go over the first update, which is an update to our two-way texting. So we've actually added an enhancement that'll gives you the ability to add internal staff notes. So let me show you guys where to find that. So in order to add internal staff notes, you're actually going to go to the Messages tab. So what we can do is just go over here where it says Messages. And so with this new update, now your staff members can leave notes that are not visible to clients within conversations on the Messages screen. And I'm going to show you guys how this works. So this is kind of how you add an internal note. So what we're going to do here is I'm in the Messages screen, and I'm just going to select an open conversation that I have already. So if you click here, you can see that this is a conversation that I have open with my client, Carla Johnson. So as you can see here, we have some updates here in the conversation. She's asked if she can move her appointment to another time tomorrow. There's some back and forth there. And then this is actually a preview right here of what the internal note looks like. And so what you can do here is I'm going to show you guys how to add an internal note. So all you need to do is you just go down here, and what you'll see is now, in addition to having this reply in this message input area, we also have a section here where we can add the note. So if you just click here on the note button, this is going to turn this into an internal note. So it's going to be totally private and not seen by any of your clients. And also one thing that you'll notice is that this internal note that you see here, you see how it's displayed with a yellow background. So it looks different. The regular reply to a client, it shows as a white background, but then when you click on note, it has that nice yellow background. So that's just going to help you clearly distinguish the staff notes from your external message reply. So you don't accidentally send something that was supposed to be an internal note out to a client or something like that. So we make that really easy to distinguish. And so I've just clicked in here, and now I'm going to add an internal note. So I'm just going to copy and paste that in. This is one that I've prepared for this demo. And so it just says, "Hi, Harriet, are you able to move your time block tomorrow to accommodate the new appointment time?" And then you just click add note. So now that you click there, you can see that this is displayed in the conversation view. And so all of the staff members can now see this. So this is going to be a super useful update for you guys. I think there's a lot of great ways that you can actually use our internal staff notes. So of course, one is just simply to communicate with other staff members, just like we're doing here. So maybe you want to communicate with staff members about open client conversations, just like this. You want to discuss details about the client services or upcoming appointment, things like that. This is a great way to handle those internal conversations. Also, another way you can use internal staff notes is for coaching and onboarding new staff members more quickly. So, when you have somebody new coming into your salon or spa, they're still getting up to speed on all of your processes and things like that. It's really helpful to use these internal notes to communicate among the staff and help train up your new staff members, give them some coaching and some guidance in case they run into any questions. And another way that you can use our internal notes is that it's actually a great way to escalate issues or questions. So maybe you have a question coming in that, it requires a response from a more senior staff member, or you want to get some insight from a more specialized staff member, depending on the topic. So you can actually use these internal notes to ask questions among your staff and make sure you're kind of escalating different conversations or questions in the best way that makes sense. So I think this will be a really useful update for everybody, just help you improve your operations and your internal communications and things like that. And also, I do want to point out that if you have not purchased the two-way texting add-on, you can still use our internal notes. So those will still be available to you. But that's kind of a recap of how to add our internal notes. So definitely play around with them, start adding them, and let us know if you have any questions about those. All right, so next I'm going to jump over and go through our next update for you guys, which is actually an update to our membership setting. And so you can actually now choose the membership billing location. So I'm going to show you guys how to exactly to access this new feature. So what we're going to do now is we're going to leave the messages screen, and we're actually going to go over to settings, and then we're going to click on app manager. So now I've clicked App Manager, and then all you need to do is go down to where it says Memberships, click that, and then now we're on the Messages screen within the App Manager, and then all you need to do is go to the Membership Settings, which is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And so this update is especially exciting for all of you who are both using our memberships feature and you also have multiple locations set up. So this feature update is for you. So now you have the ability to select the billing location for each membership. And I do want to point out that this setting right here, this is only going to appear if you already have more than one location set up. So just to avoid any confusion, if any of you only have one location set up, then you'll not see this setting. But of course, once you set up multiple locations, you will see this here in your settings. So the first option here, this says always bill through a single location. So of course, this just allows you to always bill your memberships through one location, and you can select it here. So in the case of the Seven Lakes Salon and Spa, I happen to have two locations. I have the main location, and then I also have this Shoreline Avenue location. So if I wanted, I could choose either of these, and I would always bill through a single location. However, we also now have this additional new option, which will allow you to choose the billing location for individual memberships as you set them up. So if I click on that, I can choose the billing location for individual memberships, and then I'll actually show you how to continue setting this up in the memberships tab. So we've now selected that, and then all you need to do is actually go over to the memberships tab. So we'll just click here on memberships. And now I'm viewing all of my memberships, and then I'm just going to create a new membership, and we'll see what that looks like now that we've adjusted that setting. So here we go. I'm going to add a client, Tracy Ray's. And she's going to go ahead and sign up for the signature facial monthly. And then what you see here is once you click on automatic payments, you'll now see that it has this new billing location setting right here. So now what I can do is for this particular client, for this signature facial monthly membership, I can now specify the billing location. So I can either use the Seven Lakes Salon and Spa, the main location, or, say for example, Tracy, she actually only goes to the Shoreline Avenue location. So I can actually click that, and that will be the billing location that is always used for Tracy's signature facial monthly membership. So this is just another way to give you even more control over your memberships and your billing, and make sure you set it up how you guys need to. So I really love this update. Again, great for anybody who's using both memberships and multiple locations at the same time. All right, so let's dive into another exciting product update. This next one is for resource scheduling. So we've actually given you guys the ability to add time blocks to resources. And so this next item, it really enhances both our resource scheduling feature as well as our calendar functionality. So let's go ahead and go over to the calendar view and I can show you guys what this looks like. Okay, so I am now in my calendar view and I'm able to see both all of my staff as well as all of my resources, which again, you can do that by using this filter option right here. And so now you guys can actually add time blocks to your resources. So you could already do this for staff members. So we've given you guys the same exact ability for your resources. So in order to add a new time block to a resource, all you need to do is open up your calendar and then you just select the desired time on the calendar for a particular resource for the time that you want to block off. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over here and you can see here that I have this one, for example. This is a steam room that I have set up. And actually I can even, let me adjust this so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. So we're going to only look at our steam rooms that we've set up, kind of zoom in a little bit more for you all. And so now I'm going to create a time block for this particular resource. So I'm actually going to set up a time block for steam room 2 that I've previously set up in the resources tab. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click where I want to add the time block. And then all you need to do is once you click there, you just click create time block. And now we click that. Let's say we want to go ahead and make it for 2 hours. So I'm going to just scroll down and make it 2 hours. And then you just type a reason if you want to. And I'll say closed for cleaning. And then you just hit create time block. And so as you can see here, it's really easy now when you're scanning your calendar to view the time block that's set up for this resource. You can see it has this gray color, it's using those diagonal stripes, so that will indicate that it is a time block. And so, when you add a time block, one thing that's really important to point out is that it will actually block the entire availability of this resource. So this is really helpful, especially for this example where we have a steam room. So let's say, for example, that this steam room, it actually allows you to book up to 6 appointments at one time inside the steam room. So it has capacity for multiple appointments at once. So the time block is really handy because now it's blocked off the entire availability of this resource. So nobody can book any appointments that use this steam room at at that specific time that we have set up the time block for. So these are really useful. There's all kinds of uses for them. In this example, it's closed for cleaning. Maybe you have other turnover procedures or other things like that. Or maybe you have, for example, an event happening in one of your rooms that's set up as a resource, and you want to use a time block just to ensure that nothing is scheduled during that time. So these are very flexible and you can use them, however you need, just to block off the time however you guys need to. So that is how to set up a time block for a resource. So really excited about that one. And let us know if you guys have any questions about that. Okay, so next we have just a few more updates to go over today. So the next one I want to talk about is actually an exciting update to service customizations. So we've actually given you guys the ability to exclude staff members from a customization. So this is another advanced setting to service customizations. And again, if any of you guys, missed our launch of service customizations back at the end of May, definitely go and check out all of that content. So much great launch content and out about that. But service customizations provide you with tons of opportunities to customize your appointments customize those services as you need to, let your clients personalize their services, and you can sell optional add-ons and do all kinds of things with service customizations. So we've now added this new advanced setting, and I'm going to show you guys how to actually set that up. So what I'm going to do first is just go to settings, and then I'm going to go to services. So now this is where we'll start managing we'll add this exclusion for staff members, and I'll show you guys how to do that. So again, this new update allows you to exclude one or more staff members from a customization option. So basically what that means is that when that particular service customization is selected during the booking, then the staff member is going to be excluded and clients cannot book the service with them. So I'll show you guys how to set it up, and it'll make even more sense. So what we're going to do is actually go over to our facials service category here. And then I'm just going to click on signature facial. So we'll click that. And then in order to use this new setting we've added, you just need to go to the customizations tab. So just go right here to customizations. And then you, of course, are going to see your different option groups that you've already set up previously. In this example, I've already set up an option group called facial enhancements. And so we're going to click into this option group to use this new advanced setting. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. And so again, I've already set that up previously. These are just ways you can customize your facial appointment. So for example, you can add a LED light treatment. You could also add a firming mask, things like that. You could continue to add options there as you want to. But in order to use this new setting to exclude a staff member, all you actually need to do is click on one of the options that you've set up. And so I'm going to click into LED light treatment. And then what you're going to see here, if we scroll down, you can now see that there is a new setting here. And this says exclude some staff members. So all we need to do is click that. And now we've enabled that. And then all we need to do next is to pick which staff members will be excluded from this service customization. And so I'm going to go ahead and click select staff members to exclude. So I'll click that. And then let's just pretend that Harriet Love does not do LED light treatment. So let's say, for example, maybe she prefers not to do this particular customization. She doesn't actually have the training needed to do this LED light treatment, whatever it may be. So we're just going to go ahead and click Harriet there. And so that means that she will be excluded. And then I'm just going to go ahead and click done. And then don't forget to save. That's a very important step. So we'll go ahead and save that. So now we've saved our changes, and then I'm actually going to show you guys what this looks like in the calendar view. Okay, and I'm also going to update the filters here so we can see all of our staff. So now let's go to Harriet, and we're going to try to book this appointment, and I'll show you guys what this looks like now that we've updated the setting to exclude her from this particular service customization. So let's go ahead and just click here. And we'll pick our client. Let's go with Tracy Jenkins. She wants to come in for a facial. Okay, and then what I'm going to do next is add facial enhancements. So I'm going to click here, and right off the bat, what you guys will notice, now that we've updated that setting to exclude Harriet, you can see that the LED light treatment, this is crossed off. So it's showing that we cannot book it with Harriet. And you'll even see, I'm going to click that anyways, and it shows now in red text, LED light treatment cannot be provided by Harriet. So, and I'll even show you if I go one step further and I try to book the appointment, you'll see that the system is not allowing me to book the appointment. So it's a safeguard there, preventing us from booking the appointment because we've already set up this staff exclusion in the service customization option setup. So all you need to do now is, let's say, for example, we want to move this to somebody who can do it. So let's just move it over to Andre. So if we just take this, we can move it, and Andre can actually perform that service customization. And so now you can see it's not crossed off. It lets us book this with the LED light treatment included. And now we can book that appointment. So that's a really exciting update for you guys. And also I want to point out, not only is this showing on the calendar, of course, when you try to book a service, but when you go to the online booking, if you had set that up previously, and say that you had Harriet set up as we just did, where she's excluded from that service customization, that means that when anybody is in the online booking and they try to book a service that has that customization set up, and they want that customization added to their service, they will not see Harriet as an available staff member to do that service. So really great. There's tons of use cases for this. I kind of touched on this before, but maybe you have a certain staff member and they don't have the proper training to perform a specific customization, or they just prefer not to handle it. There could be any number of reasons, then you can set that up to exclude them. And also, I want to point out another fun little creative use case for you guys, just to give you more ideas for how to use this new setting. So a lot of you guys that are listening, you already have providers on your staff who they actually do not want to take on new clients. So, they already have a full book of existing clients who've been coming to them for months or years. Their schedule is booked up and they're not looking to add new clients to their services right now. They already have enough new clients. And so you can actually use this new setting to manage that. And so what you could do is you could set up a service with a customization option that basically asks, whether they are a new client or an existing client. And then if they select that they're a new client, you can use that new setting to automatically exclude one or more staff members from being displayed in the online booking for that service. So that's just a more creative use case and another way to kind of manage your appointment scheduling using this new advanced setting for service customizations. All right, so just a couple more great updates to go over with you all. We're now going to switch gears and we're going to cover a great new enhancement that we've made to our permissions. So this is actually a new permission to allow staff members to view their own sales. So in order to get to this, we're actually going to go to settings, and then we're just going to click on staff members. So we'll click on that. And now we're here in our staff member setup section. And so we have added a new permission for non-admin staff members. And so this new permission allows staff members to view a list of their own sales. So let me show you guys. We'll use Jennifer White as an example. So we're just going to click on Jennifer White. And then in order to access this new setting, you actually just need to click on the permissions tab. And then from there, you just need to scroll down to the sales section. So here we are, we'll just scroll down and now we're at the sales section. And so we actually have a new setting right here and it says, can view list of own sales, grants access to the list of their own sales. And so I'm just gonna click that and enable it for Jennifer White. And so again, now that this is enabled, Jennifer White or any other staff member that you want will be granted access to the sales screen so they can see their own sales. And as part of this update, we also added a new filter to the sales screen. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. So all you need to do is go over here to sales and then just click on options so that we can filter. And now if you scroll down here under these filters, you're going to actually see that we added a new filter to the sales screen right here where it says include staff member. So now you can actually filter this super easily. If you want to look at all, of course, you can see them. That's the default. But then if you want to just view sales by Harriet Love, for example, you could just click on Harriet and then click apply. And now this is automatically filtering the sales screen based on all sales from Harriet. So that's really a nice way to filter your sales as well. And then, of course, you can continue to update that if you want to see, includes any of these other staff members. You could see only the sales that includes those staff members as well. So definitely check that out. Let us know if you have any questions about this new permission for staff members to view their own sales. All right, so that takes us through most of our updates, but I definitely don't want to end before we go over one more really exciting Mangomint product update. So the big news is that Mangomint is now HIPAA compliant. So this is, a really exciting update. We actually just shared a big announcement on this last week, but wanted to make sure I included that in case any of you missed that update from last week. So we've been working really hard all throughout July to achieve HIPAA compliance. We finally achieved full HIPAA compliance. And so this is really just another exciting step for Mangomint as we keep advancing our product, especially for those that are in med spas and related businesses that handle sensitive client data. So if you are somebody who's working in a med spa or another type of related business, now you can safely store medical records and other client health data in Mangomint, do this safely and legally with our HIPAA compliance. So If any of you are listening and if you do require HIPAA compliance, definitely reach out to our support team. They'll be able to send you a copy of what's called a business associates agreement, and they'll also be able to walk you through the process to become HIPAA compliant with us. So let us know if you have any questions about that, and don't forget to check out the announcement blog post as well as the new Learning Center article about HIPAA compliance. So we'll have a lot more details for you there. All right. Well, I think that wraps up all of our product updates for July. Let me just check if we have any questions that have come in. Okay. And I do see we actually had one question come in that I want to address. So somebody is asking, if I enable the new setting for staff to view a list of their own sales, does that also allow them to start a checkout from the sales screen? Okay, so that's a wonderful question. Thank you for asking that. So the answer to that is no. Starting a checkout is actually a separate permission. And so that can be controlled independently from the new permission that I was just talking about to view the list of owned sales. So that's a great question. Thank you for bringing that up. All right. Well, I think that covers all of our questions. So that wraps up today's feature spotlight. Definitely stay tuned for our next feature spotlight, where we go over other product releases that we're releasing in the next few weeks. We'll continue to have these regularly. And as usual, if you guys are watching this now or later when you watch the replay, if you have any questions about any of these new features that we launched in July, definitely chat with our support team and also check out our Learning Center. We've got a ton of great resources there for you as well. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Really enjoyed the update today. Thanks again. Have a good one. Bye.